we're gonna meet every bunny. Well, not every bunny, because there's 3 bunnies in my room. There's Nikita, there's Grizna, and there's Eva. But they're in my room, so we can't meet them in the same video. But we're gonna meet every bunny outside. So, here we have Grizna's twin brother, Nagri. They were twins. They're both gorgeous. And that's the little boy. Alright. So as we meet everybody, I am not gonna refill everything, but I'll make a couple examples. Because right now, ice has started. So it's a little bit trickier to clean everything. Okay. So cages that have flat bottoms, even if they're relatively clean, there's always a bunch of stuff that gets out of the litter. So I scrape the bottom of the cage and pick up the crazy boy, give him a hug and a kiss, and then grab some hay. That's too much hay. That's about right. There you go. Silly boy. Now then, your food and water. Come on. Thank you. Spilled water everywhere. We spilled a bunch of water. So what happens when there's a bunch of water spilled? I have a rag. I pick up the boy because he's being a brat. And dry this mess a little bit. So that at least you're not swimming in a pool. But each of those cages also have holes. So even if there was a big spill, it's still gonna drain. It's gonna drain on the bunnies below. But what do you know? I can only do what I can do, you know? Anyways, so from here, we have Cinnabon, who's a very scaredy bunny, to be honest. Doesn't she look like she's full of cinnamon? Yeah. Although, we have a big mat here. Now what happens when there's a big mat? I don't brush. I just find the scissors in my pocket and chop. There. No more mat. Cinnabon. Now we have Cocoa. Hello. She's not too bad, huh? Her mane has grown a little bit. She's the first tan double mane in the world, to my knowledge. And I adore her. I mean, she's not a perfect double mane. Cinnabon, who's a single, is technically fluffier. But for a tan, she's really fluffy. As I said, we're gonna refill every bunny after. I just don't want to spend 3 hours on each bunny, you know. Then we have little Ram. Little Ram. Yeah. Fluff ball. She's a bit dirty. But that's little Ram. Double mane Angora. Blue-eyed. Then we have Soma. Hello, Soma. Soma, Soma. Soma, Soma. Woo. Soma. Look at those colors. Gorgeous boy. Gorgeous double mane boy. Hey, Soma. Goody. Yeah. He loves me. Can you tell? Come on. Take a cold shower, boy. Then we have someone who's grown up to be really nice. Now, she's lost a lot of fluff because she has a roommate and the roommate has defluffed her a lot. But this is Timzy. She is a lilac otter. And I am very happy with how she grew up so far. Her mom was a Netherland dwarf lionhead mix. And she had a horrible personality. Like really, really bad. And Timzy, on the other hand, she is sweet. Yeah. She's always asking for attention. She's really sweet. I'm really happy with her. And then there's Sandy, who's been becoming a bit of a bully recently. Huh? You're a bully? You're a bully, you're a big bully. She's a lionhead tan cross, but she didn't get much rufus. It's there, but it's very little. It's lacking, kind of. Huh, Sandy? You're gonna make good babies for me, right? Anyways. I'll be back with your water, Timzy. Then we have Faro. Faro. Good boy. Faro is my... He doesn't like being picked up. Okay. So Faro is a chocolate tan rabbit. Look at that belly. I know. Tan is a very nervous breed, and it's pretty obvious. So in the offsprings that I'm getting from the crossbreeding project, the babies tend to be very nervous, and this is an example. These are Cocoa's sibling, and they don't really like being picked up. They get spooked easily. Oh, look at his little face. Look at his little face. He's so cute. His little mouth and nose. Hello. And then, that's the last sibling of Cocoa. Now these, I'm able to handle them somewhat, but they're very, very nervous. So I decided I wasn't gonna sell them. Sometimes the tan crosses don't come out quite as nervous, but these are, and I don't feel comfortable selling them to just general public because of that. So they're not gonna be sold, but I'm also not gonna keep them. It's gonna be a little while. Now this, she's completely unrelated to them. She is Tuta, and recently I put her with them, and she took to them. So she's been really nice to them. They've been nice to her, and isn't she gorgeous? Isn't she gorgeous? I know. She doesn't want. So Tuta is a lilac, Vienna marked blue eyes, and she is gorgeous. Hmm. Now this cage is kind of messy because obviously there's 4 rabbits, and some of them have chosen the shelf as their litter box basically, so I have to scrape that every day. I'll be doing that later. Then here we have Clovis, Clovis shoe, the Clovis shoe. This is a purebred Angora boy, and blue pointed, and he's a plushie, like a real plushie. I recently shaved him, as you can tell. Now he's got a good amount of fluff back, and I just love the way I shave his face with a poof. It's just funny, because this is just poof. Yeah, boy. Good boy. Hmm? Then we have Tomoemaru, but Tomoemaru is a little bit hyperactive. Like a little bit a lot. And if I don't go in with pellets first, he freaks out. So I go with pellets first. Hi, boy. Tomoemaru. Num num. And then he's gonna be fine. Just give him a little time. Once he takes his head out of the thing, I can go and fill. And then he's calm. Boy. Come here. So, Tomoemaru is a gorgeous double mane. Believe it or not, he's been shaved before. And he's already grown back to this much. And he's a lion head. He's not an Angora. So he's a very fluffy boy. Look at those ears. Look at those fluffy ears. Isn't that amazing for a lion head? This is my lion head with Angora ears project bearing fruit. He is gorgeous. You're gorgeous. You're gorgeous. He's a gorgeous boy. I love him. He's hyperactive and a silly bunny, but he's great. I love him. We'll be back with your water in a little bit. The wind is pushing the curtain at the back, and that made it all hard for me to close this. Now we have Pepper. Pepper is my pureblood Angora female, and officially I do not need her in my rabbitry anymore. I have a lot of hairs from her. I have Cinnabon, I have bites, and that's plenty for me. Hello, Pepper. But I have a Angora breeder friend who said she's gonna take her in the spring. So Pepper is a great pet bunny, but since she's pure blood, I don't want her to just be on the market as a pet without breeding rights being regulated. And the breeder lady I'm talking about, she does no breeding contracts, and she's actually sued a few people that dared to breed their rabbits and not get them fixed. But I don't want to deal with that stuff, so I'm glad that she's gonna get Pepper, because even if she does decide to sell her as a pet, then she's gonna be the one dealing with the contract of no breeding. Pepper I let run loose quite a lot, and so she gets gunk all over her ears all the time. And just this brushing is not even enough to get her ears sorted out. But that's because Pepper is a silly girl. Silly bunny. Silly, silly. Now, then we have 2 bunnies that might be hard to catch. Why? Because this cage is huge. I recently had the dinos rehomed, and this was the cage for the dinos, but why leave such a big cage unoccupied, you know? So here we have, calm down, calm down, calm down. Can you tell she's a tan cross? Come on, calm down. I know. So she is a tan cross, but that has doubled down in going back to the tan. So she's 3/4 tan, which means that her color is better than the others.
Can you turn? There's no light.
Okay, sorry.
That's fine.
So yeah, her color is better than the other crosses that I have because she's 3/4 tan. But as you can tell, she's pretty nervous, as if she was a pure tan. Now she calms down eventually. She's very sociable, and it's just she freaks out a little bit at first. Her name's Primrose, by the way. I often just pronounce it Pudding. Like bad Japanese accent pronunciation on purpose. But yeah, she's Primrose, and sometimes I call her Purimurozu, but you know, that's just being silly. And then Pika, 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 Pika. Yeah, Pika might be a little tougher to grab. Excuse me. Yeah. Pika! Pika-pee! And she has a big mat on her butt, so I'm gonna cut that off. Yeah. Don't know how that happened, but it happened. So this is Pika. Pika-pee! I love her ears. Her ears are so amazing. I love them. I mean, they're not fluffy, but who cares? Look at those patterns. You know? Like, if you want to look from the other side to have light again.
Yeah, that one's white.
Yeah.
It's easier.
Yeah, but still, look at those ears. They're so gorgeous.
She's so gorgeous. You're so gorgeous. Yes, yes, yes.
Sorry, I like her a lot. I love her ears.
She's so cute. I love her.
And I've noticed that patterns like that on the ears tend to be actual genetics. So
We're going to have some fun with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and keep this straight in her line. I think it's gorgeous. I love it. So whatever offsprings I get from her that have ears like that, yeah. You know.
You can go back.
Good girl. Now, we're gonna do this cage last. I'm sorry. Here we have Yang. Yang. Little good boy. Yeah. Another 10 cross, can you tell? But he's a good boy. Out of all the 10 crosses, he is the most calm of them. And he loves attention. He loves getting pet. He loves kisses. Like if I put him in his cage.
You could get so. We could get so.
He's a good boy.
You're a good boy. You're a good boy, yeah. Yes. You like rubbing everywhere you do.
He's great.
Yay. Good boy.
Yes, they'll be back for your food. He's been eating a lot of hay recently. And then we have Kiki. Good girl, Kiki. Her name is Eclipse. Her nickname is Kiki. And recently, like, she's my female purebred tan. Look at that belly. Look at that gorgeous color. But she's very, very nervous. And if I don't enter her cage without warning her about it, she tends to be defensive, aggressive, you know? It's not aggression, it's just she's being defensive and it hurts. So, you know. So I've taken to warning her by saying Kiki, 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 and she's recognized that as I'm coming in. No need to panic. It's fine. She's been having issues with her eyes since the summer. It's not pink eye. She doesn't have any marks on them. There's nothing that I can see wrong with them, but she cries a lot. So that's why her eyes kind of look iffy, especially this one. But yeah, like, there's nothing wrong with them from what I can tell. It's just, well, this one has a, like, a snot, but, you know, it's just she's crying a lot, so I'm not sure what it is.
Kiki? Yeah. Kiki. Like Kiki, Kiki.
But anyways, by doing the Kiki thing, she has calmed down a lot. So it goes to show that even with nervous bunnies, sometimes you just have to set up a ritual for them that they're gonna recognize as a pattern and calm down with. So that worked for her, that worked for Nikita and other bunnies in the past. And now
I thought it was going to be last.
They are last.
No, there's no.
That's empty.
Oh, never
because
mind.
I put them there.
Never mind.
I don't like that cage. It's the punishment cage. That cage over there, that's the cage I put a bunny in when they're being a huge brat and they're pissing me off. Which was the case with Pepper recently, because whenever I had the door open, she would run off. And I mean, I let her run out a lot, but she needs permission, and she needs to come back when it's time to come back, and she just wouldn't this summer. So she was in there for a while because of that. But anyways, now that I have this giant cage,
I thought there was someone in there.
I did some musical cage, and that cage is empty. Now, yeah, there's a few that are roommates. I could split them up. But in the case of Timzy, Cinnabon, Pika, they just get along super well. Oh, and Cisco. They get along super well, so I actually don't want to split them up.
How about the big bully?
The Sandy's starting to be a bully. It's not an issue yet. If it gets to be an issue, I will separate her from Timzy. But for now, it's not an issue yet, and it could be just hormonal because she's at that age, and she could just calm down right after. So right now for Timzy and Sandy, it's a wait and see, and if I have to, I have to. If not, great. It's just this way actually gives me a spare cage in case I have an emergency or something. So that's pretty nice. Now here we have Cisco. She is a Angora cross. Look at those ears. And she is Angora, but even for an Angora, her mom was technically purebred. She had a pedigree, but her ears were so bad that somehow we were pretty sure her pedigree was false and that she wasn't pure. But if you consider that and you look at her daughter, whom is half lion head, because her dad was a lion head, her ears are better than some purebred. Like even Pepper and Clovis right now, their ears aren't that great. They're not that fluffy. Well, Pepper has her excuses. Clovis is just not. But yeah, so she's great. And she had a nose poof for a while. She kind of lost it. Like the nose poof was right here. There's like a couple hairs left. But not the big one at the top. I'm talking this little spike right on top of her nose. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But I don't know why she lost it. It was cute. I liked it. But I still like her. Now, she's one of the ones that I need to hurry up and get an heir from because she's getting older. Her previous litter she had this summer, I wasn't satisfied with any of the ones from it. So, I'm probably going to breed her with Nagli or Soma. Or maybe Tomoe Maru. One of those three. To bring her more towards the lion head. So probably not Nagri, probably Tomoe Maru. To go towards the lion head some more. And now we have Bites. Bites is one of Pepper's daughter. She is huge. She didn't inherit the Angoranes, but she certainly inherited the size. She is chunky. Like, even for compared to an Angora, she's chunky. Like, she's my new big mama, basically. What are you doing? What is wrong? What's wrong?
I heard scratching. I thought it was her, but wasn't.
Oh, it's him.
Oh, never mind.
So yes, she is chunky. Hello. And she became a mama for the first time 2 days ago.
Show the baby.
Yes. Now, when I show babies and I haven't checked them yet, there could be bad surprises. I mean, that's nature and whatnot. But hopefully they're all okay. Yeah. Yeah, they're all okay.
Still the jumpy one.
So this one's black. Yeah. Then we have two blues. Oh, and the dad is Nagari, by the way. I forgot to mention. And that's blue. That's the other blue. And then we have a tort. From the looks of it, it's a blue tort. And sadly, none of them are doubles. They're not double mains. But mom and dad are both singles, so...
What'd you expect?
Yeah. But still, it's sad. So this means that... Oh, look at her. She's looking for babies.
Well, give them to her.
Yes, I will. You need to go out, girl. Thank you.
There's the babies.
Hello, Cisco. Yeah, but you're okay. You're okay. Your babies are fine.
So, yeah. So, those babies, they are gonna be single main or no main. Future will tell. Now, you notice there's two bunnies, two adult bunnies in there, and babies. What the heck? I used to be very, very much take the mom away so that she can give birth solo in a cage. But Look at them. Look at them. They give kisses to each other. And this summer, I actually had a shortage of space. And I had to let Cisco have her babies while Bites was in the cage. And it worked like a charm. Look at them. Kisses. 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 It was amazing to see Bites interacting with the babies and Cisco not having any issues with it. And Bites was respecting the nest, not going in. So, since it worked so well with Cisco, I decided I'd try the other way around too. And, I mean, do I need to say more? Aren't they amazing together?
It shows that you look at me.
Yeah. So, even though she's a first-time mom, she did very well. Her nest isn't overly fluffed. She didn't pull that much fur. I've seen much better nests. But the babies are okay. And there's 4 of them, so they keep each other warm. So, hopefully, all goes well from here. Now, nature happens, and especially in winter, it happens faster. If she goes in and one of the baby latches on and doesn't let go before she decides to go out, sometimes she'll end up pulling out one of the babies. When that happens, if you can catch it in time, you can put the baby back in the nest and everything's fine. But even in summer, they're eventually gonna die from the cold because they can't maintain their own body temperatures by themselves without any fluff. Although I've had one doe that basically laid on her bunny. It was Layla. One of the babies got out of the box and she just laid next to it, but kind of on top of it. And since she was Angora, her fluff covered the baby, so she kept the baby warm. And that was really impressive of her. And yeah, I said Primrose is very social. No, don't do that. Don't be a bad girl.
There's too many stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. That's why it's so fun. They all have their personalities.
You're being a silly bunny.
So yeah, it's fun.
Boink.
Hello. Hello.
There's the hello. And
That's a big cage, isn't it?
yeah. Can't go further.
Yeah. Well, I can, but I have to enter the cage, as you saw. It's not fully clean, so there's still some feathers and whatnot from the dinos. But I figured those 2 are not gonna be bred for a while.
That could be
So
the
it should
baby
be okay.
cage.
Well, not as it is, because there's a few issues.
Of course.
Here, there's a hole. Here, there's a hole. Now, that's not that big a hole. But for babies, very tiny babies, that's plenty big. And then, there's a really big hole over here. And I had considered, I had considered putting tuta in the 3 cross pens, Coco as sidelings, but because of the size of this hole and the fact that those tans are kind of small, even for their age, they're very slim and they're very nervous, I would worry that they would be able to get out. So I decided not to put them in this cage, even though it would make sense because that's 4 bunnies in 1 cage versus 2.
You need to patch up.
Yeah, it needs to be patched up and repaired and rearranged so that it can work for bunnies properly. But for now, I figured as it was, it could work for Primrose and Pika. They're too big for those holes, and gives them space, you know. So I figured it was better to do that at least. And eventually, when the weather and my health and energy line up, I'll do something about this, and it's gonna be the baby cage eventually. For now, it's not. It's cold, huh? So that's the tour. That's everybody, and now we're gonna get to feeding and watering,
Sleepy bunny.
giving hay to everybody, so that we can go back inside where it's warm and there's no wind.
Yes, my poor toes.
Yeah, and my feet especially, because
Why are you not wearing your boots, you silly?
yesterday I worked on the driveway and I was wearing some boots that Mary's gave me, and I ended up with 3 huge blisters at the back of my
You
heels.
told me about that.
It hurts. So I can't wear shoes that go over my heels. So like even these shoes,
Slow down, slow.
even these shoes, I have to fold the back so that I don't hurt my.
Let's hurry up then.
Yeah. So that's that. We're gonna close the curtains so that at least we don't work in the wind.
Yes.
And we're gonna do this and go back inside where it's warm. Bye bye.